Hi, Harry here on January 24th with the Rant. Folks, I have never been more sick of this economy, dislike this economy more, because it simply is not a real economy and hasn't been since 2009 when governments decided to run nonstop deficits and the central banks decided to stop, just nonstop money printing. If the economy doesn't want to grow, we'll make it grow, okay? Well, I'm sorry. That's not the way anything in life works. We can't be awake 16, 17, 18 hours without sleeping for 5, 6, 7, or 8, okay? That's just the way it is. We cannot eat without what else coming out the other side. I mean, that's the way life actually works, okay? And now we have gone the longest in history since the stock markets were created and all this stuff without a recession, okay? 15 years and 7 months, so it'll be 16 years in June, and the stock market in March will be 16 years from its last major bottom. Normally, stock runs don't last more than 10 years. That's the longest we've seen, and the same thing, economy doesn't go more than about 10 years without a recession. The longest was from early 91 into early to mid 2001. That was the longest time, okay? So again, central banks and governments are going against Mother Nature, natural forces, and I know who I bet on when that happens. The natural forces are bigger and will win. It may take a while, and it's already taken a long time. But again, the most disconcerting thing, had the biggest tightening since 1981, which caused the deepest recession since the Great Depression. And now they've done this similar thing, similar tightening, everything, 40 years later, and stocks are 27% higher and no recession, okay? So something's wrong here. And I just call this, and have been calling this, the great overreaction, of course, to COVID. A temporary virus. This has happened to us before. Back in the early 1900s, we had that happen, and it came for 2 years and went away. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to change stock markets and stimulate the economy. It just went away. Yeah, people bought a little less for a while, but we didn't have to create. And again, you know what I've been quoting, 27 trillion since the Great Recession in 2008, and 11 trillion of that just in the 2 years, 2020 to 22, during COVID. That's insane, folks. That is an overreaction. And there has to be consequences. And I know there hasn't been yet, okay? And this is the last chance for the economy. If we do not see now finally a downturn between 2025, and it should take 2 to 3 years to wash out this level of bubble. The biggest, longest bubble in history without even a close second, okay? So this is not going to detox quickly. This would not normally happen now that the millennials are in their upward cycle. And frankly, as I've been saying recently, that's the reason I can give why this biggest tightening had very minimal effect on the economy, because the millennials were stepping into 2024 for the first time since Gen X has been driving down our economy 2008 to 22, 23, which again, I predicted decades before it happened. So this is natural cycles, okay? So what's happening now, I was just reading the other day, Irving Fisher in 1929, he was the most famous economist back then. He said, we seem to have achieved a permanent plateau of prosperity. Well, that's what people are thinking now, and that's what economists are thinking. We don't really need to have recessions anymore. And again, 16 years, no recession, no stock crash again, none of this sort of stuff, okay? But stocks are finally meeting resistance here, okay? So stocks do just want to go up, and they're thinking that way, but they're just meeting natural resistance. We've had a double top in Bitcoin, and I say Bitcoin is the leading indicator in crypto overall for the broader stock markets and economy, okay? So Bitcoin has had a double peak here in December 17th, short term, and January 20th, and is headed, just recently went down 6%. It's bouncing here, but it's going to be very critical if Bitcoin cannot go and start making new highs above 108,500, I think it was approximately, okay? So if it can make new highs, okay, maybe not. But if it cannot, Bitcoin normally would not top until late 2025 in its 4-year cycle. But I have been predicting that there's a good chance that it will top early in this 4-year cycle because we're in a broader one wave up in Bitcoin over, like I say, a 40-year cycle as the internet's gone through before it, where it should have a second wave down that should take 2 years or more to correct. So this would not be unusual to see Bitcoin peak a little early and have a little bigger correction this time to complete this second wave. So that's my assumption, unless Bitcoin can break out and continue to move higher here. And again, we'll see that probably pretty soon. So that's the question. If Bitcoin can break above 108,515, that's bullish for now and likely for the rest of 2025. And I don't see how stocks can go down if Bitcoin doesn't. But if it breaks the bottom of a triangle it's in right now below 101,400, that would be a sign Bitcoin has topped here and may have topped altogether in this 4-year cycle early. And that would also suggest stocks are going down. And again, that is my preferred scenario. So again, what's the dilemma here for people, still in stocks or crypto or looking to maybe get back in after it's held up this well? And I don't blame anybody for doing that. But the problem is, my research shows, and very clearly, the first crash after any major bubble is typically 42% in 6 months. And in this case, the biggest bubble of all time, the more extreme, was a 50% first crash in as much as 12 months. That's what I see as a likely scenario. 2025 is going to see a crash like 2022 that is deeper and harder and does create a long-term top this time. So again, that's all I can do. I'll keep you updated, of course, but people who want to be back in here or in back here, hey, you can ride this out, especially if we can break above here. But if we don't, I would get cautious quick. And otherwise, people are out, stay out, and let's see if we do break the new highs convincingly or not. And I'm really hoping we don't.